Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We're back once again with some LCS offseason coverage, all the latest and greatest news, rumors, speculation, and all that good stuff going on in the professional League of Legends scene. Today, as you can see on the screen, we have an absolutely massive story coming out of the LCS, talking about TSM, talking about Doublelift, talking about their AD carry and just roster situation in general. This is just a couple of minutes ago, 27 minutes ago, he tweeted out reflections with this twit longer, which does go into detail about his retirement from competitive League of Legends. He talks about when he was 17, kind of growing up in the scene, how there was all these memes about Doublelift's trophy case, and how he was kind of mocked and had so many just trials and tribulations and just big triumphs and failures and everything throughout his life, through League of Legends, through all this stuff. And he says, "Thank you for watching me grow from a hopeless kid into a successful adult. I'll be starting a new chapter in my life now, and I'd like your support in that too." Which, this is absolutely insane, because again, we heard Bjergsen retire was about 2 weeks ago at this point. And then Doublelift was talking about how when he heard Bjergsen was retiring, he was considering retiring, but he said on stream that he was committed to playing for the 2021 season, that he was going to be coming back. Obviously, in the 2 weeks or whatever it's been since then, we've heard a lot of things going both ways. When TSM was reaching out to Swordart, or they were going to get this big, huge Korean or Chinese or whatever import support, that Doublelift was going to be back and playing. But then once kind of negotiations started to fall through, maybe TSM was going to rebuild, maybe their roster didn't look as solidified anymore, those retirement considerations started creeping back into Doublelift's mind, and that was really, really crazy for a ton of people. To lose Bjergsen and Doublelift in the same offseason seemed absolutely insane, seemed crazy. TSM is a defending LCS champions. They're just coming off a very promising split where they, again, were able to win the LCS with Bjergsen, with Doublelift, and now just a couple of months later, they are both gone. They're both officially retired. Obviously, with Bjergsen becoming the head coach for TSM, it's going to be interesting to see what Doublelift has as his long-term plans, whether he remains with the organization as a streamer, whatever. I'm sure he'll be in content creation or in kind of the League of Legends esports gaming scene to some capacity, because he's still absolutely massive in the scene. But these are the two GOATs of North America. They're the leaders in MVPs and championships. And even though when they've been together, they've had amazing domestic success, obviously they've never been able to be super successful at Worlds. But these are the two biggest players, brands, everything in the scene. And to lose them both in the same offseason, for the same team to lose them both, that is absolutely crazy. And then obviously with TSM's roster still kind of in flux, we have heard the latest from Applehead, is that with this knowledge, EG has now confirmed that Tomo is going to be their starting AD carry for the upcoming split, which means TSM will be hanging on to Lost, and he will be the new replacement for Doublelift. So we know that Lost is going to be replacing Doublelift as AD carry. Power of Evil is going to be replacing Doublelift as AD carry. PoE is going to be replacing Bjergsen in the mid lane. Huni is going to remain as the new top laner for TSM. So even though Reggie said they could potentially be like full rebuilding, it looks like they're still going with Huni in the top lane. But even though Doublelift is retiring, this does not close the door on Swordart, is something that Applehead is saying, which is pretty crazy. He's still saying we're going to be hearing the more news and official word on that Friday or Saturday. Again, we haven't really heard rumors about who their new support would be, so I would say maybe Swordart is looking a little bit more likely headed to TSM, if anything. But Lost is coming in. He's going to be a new, young, fresh AD carry for TSM. He's been tearing it up in Academy recently, and people are really hyped. People are really excited for him. A lot of people thought Doublelift was washed up past his prime, and it was time for TSM to move on. Especially with the same time that Bjergsen's on his way out, so TSM can kind of start building up for the future, especially at a time when Cloud9 and Team Liquid look so good. Like, TSM is not going to have any chance to stick up with them, at least in the coming future, to start building towards the future so you can be that great top organization once again. But when you have this core of Huni, Spica, PoE, and Lost, TSM's going to have a solid team. Obviously, depending on who they're able to get for support, if they have Swordart, they can definitely be a top 2 or 3 team in the LCS. They can definitely compete for a world spot. If they do have to rebuild and go with kind of somebody pretty meh in support, or maybe even a young guy, maybe they fall in the 4 to 5 range. But TSM does look like a scary team to me. I know people are really, really excited for Lost, and even though people are going to be very, very sad that Doublelift is gone, I think people are excited about the future of TSM, about the future of North American talent. There's a lot of teams going young. There's been a ton of crazy roster moves. This has honestly been the most insane League of Legends offseason ever. Again, losing Bjergsen, losing Doublelift, Reckless going to G2, Perks coming to C9. Huge moves everywhere. The landscape of the professional scene is really, really shifting. And again, a few weeks ago, we had Doublelift saying he was coming back, that he was ready to go for the next season. But now, just a couple of weeks later, we obviously know he's flipping back and forth between the two. And I think once those thoughts get in your mind that it's probably time to be done, if you're not fully all in, if you're not fully committed to this team in the future and getting better and all that, And I know people had been telling me that Doublelift hadn't been playing solo queue recently. Some people were saying, oh, that must mean they're getting ready for an announcement. Maybe he's duoing his new support off stream. And some people were like, oh, you know, he just gave up. He quit playing solo queue because he knows he's not coming back, so there's no point in grinding the game right now. But yeah, it's finally official. Doublelift is gone. He has retired from Professional League of Legends. He is retired from TSM, and Lost will be the starting AD carry in 2021. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Is Doublelift making the right decision? Should he be retiring? Should he be hanging it up? Or do you think he should have came back for one more year? How do you think Lost is going to do as a new AD carry? There's tons of question marks still surrounding this TSM roster and just the NALCS in general. Subscribe to update on the latest content. Check me out at Twitch, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. $25 RP giveaway, first link in the description below. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.